Hey guys, it's Gina with YA Fiction Freaks, and I am reviewing another Ellen Hopkins book. This one's called Identical. Um, this one came out after Burned, Crank, Glass, and Impulse. This was her next book. It's got a really neat cover. See, it's like really like mirror-y looking. And that's because it's called Identical, and it's about these, let's set this camera back, and it's about identical twins. So, I just wanted to show you, I don't know if you saw my other videos about Ellen Hopkins books, but these, how they're written in verse, and see how that is? Like this one is a letter, and it's got the word, like the letter E, and when you read it, then this big E actually makes up the word inquiring down here. So that's what's really cool about them. They're written in verse form, but they're not like poetry at all. It reads just like a normal book, but it is in verse form, which is really, I love. It's so easy to get through them. It'll only take you a couple of days because you'll be so interested in the story, for one, but also they're just really quick reads, and I think it's so cool. Like you could just flip and flip and flip as you're reading. They're like, see, this one's like shaped like a cross. Isn't that cool? And then like some of them have like actually just 3 words on it. This one, question mark. Is that awesome? So they're really easy. The one thing about this book, it was a really good story. I did like it. I like all her books. But this one is about identical twins. And the one thing that got me a little crazy reading the book was that she switches the perspective between the twins' names are Rayleigh. I guess I'm saying that right. Rayleigh, and Rayanne. And, woo, don't want to show that. And she switches back. Like she'll tell you at the top of a chapter. It's not really chapters though, but it kind of keeps going. But she'll have like up here, like I guess that's considered a chapter. It'll be like a bold thing, and it'll say like, see, this one says Rayleigh, and then like a couple of chapters on, it'll say Rayanne. But it was a little confusing because you're reading it and then you like, oh, now wait a minute, which one is this? Was this Rayleigh or Kaylee? And towards the probably middle half of the book to the end, like you kind of know their personality, so you know who it is. But during the beginning, it's kind of, at least for me, it was kind of hard to figure out like which sister is this and who. Look at this. I got to show you this one. I love these. See, it says on top. Isn't that cool? So you read it like that. And then I want to show you this one. This is an L. And then when you, after you read the whole L, all the words that's in the L, the last word you're going to read on this page is lust. See, there's the UST down here, but you use the L. So isn't that cool? I love it. I just love reading these. And they're, like I said, they're all pretty thick. This one's actually one of the thinner ones, believe it or not. And this one has a surprise ending too. It's not as much of a shocker as her Impulse. Impulse totally caught me off guard. It was a total shocker. I couldn't believe what happened. In Identical, and I think you'll probably do the same, but you kind of start to figure out what's going on. It's like, wait a minute, and you kind of start figuring out how it's going to end up in the end with the twins. So it is surprising, but yet it's not as much of a shocker as Impulse. So if you haven't read this book, go get it. I think you'll be really happy that you did. Again, not for tweenies or young teenagers as far as the content. I mean, it's not usually bad content or graphic, really, but it's just these girls and these teenagers that Ellen Hopkins writes about. I like how the title is really big like that on each book too, on the so you can really see it on your bookshelf. Um, but the content, they're just dealing with a lot of hard stuff that I'd say older teenagers, 15 and up, really are starting to deal with and stuff. And, drugs coming at you, even more peer pressure, right and wrong, that kind of stuff. It's really, really harsh. So, but they're great books. I love them. I am not a young adult in age, but I really, really enjoy these. I think they're books that we all can relate to. We all might not have lived these lives and been exposed to these things, but yet we probably knew people who did, or you probably were tempted with this stuff, or maybe even dealt with some of it in your own life, overcome it. Maybe you haven't yet, but they're great books. So I really recommend go getting a good Ellen Hopkins book, which is every single one of them. Again, my favorite's Impulse so far. I haven't read Tricks. I'll do a review on that. I know it's about prostitutes from what I hear. So, or runaway teenagers that end up getting into prostitution. So, but go read them and leave me a comment if you have read them and let me know your opinion of them. And leave me a comment. Also, you can find us on YA Fiction Freaks on Facebook. Look us up and become a fan. We keep you updated on the YA fiction adult world. Thanks, and happy reading, guys.